The thing I love most about the Poudre River is that it runs through our town and that it's relatively wild still.
I've always said, from a personal basis, that the Poudre River, we've got a huge asset running right through the middle of Fort Collins that we don't take advantage of.
The thing that got me the most inspired about this, though, is one time I was watching TV and I saw the governor of Colorado, Governor Owens. He was on TV and he was talking about all the water that is wasted because it goes in the river all the way to Nebraska. So he had this clear connotation that water is wasted unless we humans can think of any conceivable way to use it. And that just rankled me so badly and pissed me off.
It is a project to utilize excess capacity in the Poudre River for the benefit of northeastern Colorado citizens. Very base level, that's what it's about.
We need to start thinking about these rivers as something different, not something we just take from, but something that we give back to. And there's a reciprocity that goes on there that's really important if we're going to live sustainably in this region.
People tend to think of the river as a mini ecosystem in which only the plants and animals that live right in the water live, but it actually benefits an entire swath of a valley, all the way from one peak that we see from that side to another peak we see from this side. All the animals, all the creatures in that valley gravitate to the river. They use the water to live.
If we lose that sort of thing, we're going to have a very different ecosystem here, and we're going to lose the services that it provides.
And a dam, of course, is not a sustainable solution because you can't continue to build dams. You obviously run out of water at some point. And so conservation is cheaper, conservation is sustainable.
Water projects are not cheap, and this is one of the points that we make sure that we emphasize. This project is somewhere between $350 and $400 million that we're talking about right now.
As the region continues to grow, as the price tag for water continues to get higher and higher, market forces are really starting to kick into play here.
This project will be financed through the participants. There are 16 participants in this project right now. The participants are emerging communities, so they are the ones that are experiencing the highest rates of growth today. All in some form or another are looking at growth paying the way for that future water supply.
They're building a project that will feasibly, provide water for people till 2030. And the project itself won't be complete until 2013.
Even with a NIST project, the projections are that many of these emerging communities in northeastern Colorado will still have to find additional water supplies. Some by the year as early as 2020, others by 2030, and all of them by the year 2050.
Well, how can we live within our means? How can we use the water supply that we have right now more efficiently? How can we use it more carefully in order to meet those needs? I think those are really fundamental questions that need to be asked. Not just taking water out of the rivers, but starting to think, maybe we've taken enough out of the rivers. Maybe there's not enough available. Maybe we're living beyond our means right now.
We're getting naked for the Poudre River. There's a new dam and reservoir project scheduled for next year, and we're trying to raise awareness.
It's a real symbolic act in terms of it emphasizes the disconnect that allows rivers to be drained and sent into faucets. And that disconnect is that a lot of people don't really put it together that when you turn on a faucet, it's coming right out of here.
I guess we're trying to be as transparent as possible, and there's no better way than to take your clothes off and show that you have nothing to hide.
You do see a lot of nudity in our culture, but it's a nudity of exploitation, and this is a nudity of celebration.
When we do the research and we get into the complexities of Colorado water law, it's probably one of the most important issues that we face here in the West, and it is probably the defining issue of the West is water.
I think you need to take the tone of not being preachy, but being a little risky and being willing to take risks yourself so people can say, hey, those people care enough about that to do that. Maybe I should check that out.
Can we flex? Yeah. Last night I called you up, you scribbled me down, drove on to the station. You said you've got no time, so fish or cut a line. No more hesitation.